Now, as of February 29th, 2024, after using the Galaxy S24, I think this might be the best phone in its price range. Now, after my day-to-day experience with the Galaxy S24, it has given me consistency, quality, and an overall solid experience. With the Galaxy S24, you get a really good display, an amazing battery life, top-tier features, and so much more that is superior to its competition. And in this video, I will be sharing my experience with the Galaxy S24 to show you how it's holding up after a month of use. Now, in terms of design, the Galaxy S24 feels very sleek, has nice curves that complement its sharp exterior, and I still find it very comfortable till this day. Going further into the feel in hand, as the generations improve, every phone at this price range kind of starts to feel the same. This, the iPhone 15 Pro, and Pixel 8 aren't really that far from each other. The back and front of the S24 is Gorilla Glass Victus 2, and during my whole time of owning the Galaxy S24, I only dropped it on my wooden floor, and it still has yet to have any major scratches, and I kind of already knew that it wasn't going to crack. But one thing that I do want to note is that I always appreciated Samsung's displays because out of all the phones in the market, theirs have been the less prone to getting unnecessary scratches and have always been pretty durable. The materials on this phone still feel really good yet premium. I've always loved the matte back because no matter how much time you have a phone, it'll always have that very smooth feel while still looking brand new in the process. The matte feel is much preferred when compared to the Galaxy S23, and it feels very smooth despite being very slippery. Now, in terms of weight, the Galaxy S24 is a little lighter than the iPhone 15. It weighs 5.98 ounces, while the iPhone 15 weighs 6.02. Not that much of a difference, and again, in terms of aesthetic and feel, this feels very identical. And lastly, looking at the color, I have the black S24. It still maintains its brand new look, and I also like the color and material because no matter how dirty my phone gets, I can just wipe it off with a microfiber cloth and it's still as good as new. And now taking a look at the front of my Galaxy, it has a 6.2-inch dynamic AMOLED display that is still standing the test of time just like any Galaxy phone. And despite being the cheapest version in the S24 series, it has the exact same brightness as not only the Galaxy S24 Plus, but also the Galaxy S24 Ultra. I even loved how no matter how much the brightness increased, the colors still maintain their pop. The viewing experience is still very satisfying, the screen was very vibrant yet gave a kick of realism, and gaming really brought out the resolution, especially when I was playing something like Asphalt 9 or Call of Duty. Watching content and movies on it was great as well. Yes, it does have a 1080p display instead of a 1440, but if you look at it in person, it still looks really good. A lot of times we get caught up in specs, but I always tell people that before you judge, you have to use the phone in person to see if the spec actually bothers you. Moving on to refresh rate, the 120Hz was good. The responsiveness is still holding up very well. And as far as anything involving display, the Galaxy S24 is doing phenomenal, and I'm glad that the longevity so far is really good. The Galaxy S24 also has a bunch of screen real estate due to the hole punch camera being so small. I felt every bit of its 6.2-inch display since the bezels were basically non-existent, the display was flat so there was no shortage, and I used swipe gestures instead of the home buttons, which creates even more space. And finally, the fingerprint sensor is the best in the game. As you can see right here, it's lightning fast, and it's also my preferred method when unlocking my phone. Now moving on to battery, the Galaxy S24 has a really good battery that can last you all day on certain conditions. The S24 can last you if you're someone who uses your phone a lot, but not too much. If you're someone who checks social media moderately, makes some phone calls, uses the GPS to go to work, etc. I did this and I was able to get around 5 to 7 hours of screen time with mine, so I easily end my day with over a 20% battery, which is pretty great. I don't do too much, I just use my phone like the average person would. Now, one of the more notable disappointments for me was that the Galaxy S24 didn't support 45 watt fast charging like the S24 Plus and Ultra. 30 watts isn't that bad, but it just doesn't look good when all the other phones in the S24 lineup should be identical when it comes to charging. But besides that minor disappointment, the Galaxy S24 has a really good battery life that will fit your needs if you don't overdo it and use it like a regular smartphone. Now, when it comes to power, just like the Galaxy S24 Ultra and S24 Plus, the regular S24 has the really good Snapdragon 8 Gen 3 chip that is not only more powerful than last year, but also much less power hungry and built for better efficiency. And I'm really happy that it was able to maintain proper cooling, great power within gaming, and handle damn near anything that you throw at it. On a day-to-day basis, I'm recording, playing games, scrolling through social media, and many other regular things on my phone, and no matter how long I test it, I didn't notice a single slowdown and was very impressed. Now, looking at the camera, the Galaxy S24 has been able to produce some high quality pictures and videos. Looking at the outside photos, the selfies were good. I feel like I've been pretty hard on the selfies recently, but I've really ended up enjoying them. The blur in the back was good, the sharpness improved, and the contrast and lighting has always been pretty great. And I also took some photos of different things in different environments, and this is where the Galaxy S24 is at its strongest. The colors were punchy, the sharpness enhanced the photo, and this is arguably one of the best cameras in the game. And now when it comes to shooting video, the Galaxy S24 is worse than the iPhone 15, but it is better than the Pixel 8, and I personally think that the quality is great. But there are times where the lighting isn't as consistent, but other than that, it's doing pretty well. The video stabilization was solid, there were many modes that you can choose from if you want to get creative, and overall, the videos were very good. So all in all, the Galaxy S24 has a really solid camera that has some good consistency, quality pictures, nice stabilization, and an abundance of different ways that you can be able to shoot a video or take a pic. And alright you guys, that's my final thoughts on the Galaxy S24. It's a phone that can really be the best if it's able to remain consistent. And I'm very excited to see how it does from here, because at the end of the day, it's still a great representation of the Galaxy S24 series. Peace.